but we met each other
I know, it's
a
really
lifetime ago.
We have two start dates. We have like
Yeah.
the official time we actually started playing together, and then a total lie date. That if we say when we actually did start playing together, I think people would just be put off by us and think.
As Blacklisters, though,
Yeah.
we haven't been playing as long as we've known and been playing together.
Yeah.
Like we met, God, it must have been about, I don't know, like 10 years ago. We were all in different bands doing different things and being like, we played a lot of blues in bars, and rock and roll and stuff, and country, and we were all sort of doing different things, and we always come together and do jam nights and stuff, and then sooner or later we sort of ended up kind of getting together and becoming a band of sorts. Which sort of, our aim was to sound like a heavy Devo, and it wasn't exactly very good.
I think that's really good.
Like turning point in terms of our career as a band, as opposed to how we got to write good music or whatever.
Yeah, there's that side.
I don't know. I think there's probably a couple. The first one for me was when we played a gig in Royal Park Cellars with a band called Chicken Hawk, who are now Hawkeyes, and Matt Reed, who was the drummer at the time, was a brilliant human, and Ryan, the bassist, really liked us, and Matt just was like, right, okay, I'm going to book you for gigs, and then he started, sort of like opened the doors for us to start playing with the sort of bands that we looked up to and liked, who were around in Leeds, and we were, up until that point, had nothing to do with, and no way of knowing how to have anything to do with them. That one, I think, was like a first stepping stone to doing stuff. I guess, like, as far as like, when we got through on Future Sound, that was a big deal. I'd say that was, because like up until that point, I still think we thought that nobody cared really, and then it turned out that loads of people gave a fuck, and enough people gave a fuck to help us do something like that, which essentially is a battle of the bands, you know.
It is,
and that can be quite a horrible experience, asking your friends to come and watch you play and make you kind of get through to something, and we usually shy away from doing that sort of stuff. I remember me especially, I don't know about the rest of them, but like decided I was never going to invite friends to come to gigs unless they wanted to, you know, because it's such a horrible thing. Like, I remember being in bands in my teens and going, you've got to come down, because otherwise the promoter will think we're shit and no one will come, and that's such a horrible relationship between people who don't like the music you make, feeling like they owe you one, and you feeling like a bit of a prick for asking them. So stuff like when we did Future Sound, that was and starting listening to the Jesus.
We used to be called some horrific. What was it? They're mannequins.
Yeah.
They're mannequins, right?
Not
we wanted to be like an 80s Devo cover band.
Yeah.
And we knew how awful it was, and we're awful at coming up with song titles. Well,
you would never believe
awful
it from the
or
song
amazing,
titles we come up with, but we find it really difficult, which is sort
we
of
argue over loads. So coming up with a band name was painful.
Yeah.
And I think there's a Bob Dylan film. What's it called?
I don't know.
It's like the Bob Dylan film, and there's a section in it about the McCarthyism.
Yeah.
And I think the line is blah blah blah, the Blacklisters, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it sounded quite cool, really.
I think, but we don't know what it's going to be yet.
Okay.
But we do know what it's going to be. But
But you're not going to tell me.
no, I'm not.
Okay.
It's not like we can't tell you.
I can't tell you,
But it's, we just don't really know.
we don't know what we're doing yet.
Okay. Well,
But it's going to be good.
I hope so. It's a difficult one because the last one, the Trick Fuck one, is so bloody out there. Then what do you do to kind of like follow it up? Do you do like, you kind of got to do something which is of equal measure, but maybe not quite as disgusting.